1492 by Emma Lazarus. Woe to faced year, mother of change and fate, didst weep when Spain cast forth a flaming sword, the children of the prophets of the Lord. Prince, priest, and people spurned by zealot hate, hounded from sea to sea, from state to state. The West refused them and the East abhorred. No encourage the known world could afford. Close-looked was every port, bared every gate. When smiling thou unveil'dst, O two-faced year, a virgin world where doors of sunset part, saying, Ho, all who weary, enter here, where falls each ancient barrier that the art of race or creed or rank devised to rear grim bulwarked hatred between heart and heart. A June Night by Emma Lazarus. 10 o'clock, the broken moon hangs not yet a half-hour high, yellow as a shield of brass in the dewy air of June, poised between the watered sky and the ocean liquid glass. Earth lies in the shadow still, low black bushes, trees and lawn, night's ambrosial hues absorb. Through the foliage creeps a thrill, whispering of yon spectral dawn and the hidden climbing orb. Higher, higher gathering light, veiling with a golden gauze, all the trembling atmosphere see the rayless discourse white. Hark, the glittering billows pause. Faint, far sounds possess the ear. Elves on such a night as this spin their wings upon the grass. On the beach a water fay greets her lover with a kiss. Through the air swift spirits pass, laugh, caress, and float away. Shut thy lids, and thou shalt see angel faces wreathed with light, mystic forms, long vanished hands. Ah, too fine, too rare they be for the grosser mortal sight, and they foil awakened sense. Yet we feel them floating near, know that we are not alone. Though our open eyes behold nothing save the moon's bright sphere, and the vacant heaven shone, and the ocean's path of gold. Afternoon by Emma Lazarus. Small, shapeless drifts of cloud sail slowly northward in the soft-hued sky, with bluer half-tints and rolling summits bright, by the late sun caressed, slight haze showed all things afar, shineth each leaf anigh with its own warmth and light. Overblown by southland airs, the summer landscape basks in utter peace. In lazy streams the lazy clouds are seen, low hills, broad meadows, and large, clear-cut squares of ripening cornfields rippled by the breeze with shifting shade and sheen. Hark! And you may not hear a sound less soothing than a rustle cool of swaying leaves, the steady riot drone of unseen crickets, sudden chirpings clear of happy birds, the tinkle of a pool chafed by a single stone. What awake delicious dreams, born of this golden hour of afternoon, and air-balm frighted, fill the south of bliss, transpierced like yonder clouds with lustrous gleams, fantastic, brief as way, and like them spun of gilded nothingness. All things are well with here. 'Tis good to be alive, to see the light that plays upon the grass, to feel and sigh with perfect pleasure the mild breezes stir among the garden roses, red and white with rifts of fragrancy. There is no troublous thought, nor painful memory, nor grave regret, to mirth the sweet suggestion of the hour. The soul, at peace, reflects the peace without, forgetting grief as sunset skies forget the morning's transient shower. Age and Death by Emma Lazarus. Come closer, kind, wide, long, familiar friend. Embrace me, fold me to the broad, soft breast. Life has grown strange and cold, but thou dost bend mild eyes of blessing, wooing to my rest. So often hast thou come, and from my side so many hast thou lured. I only bide the beck to follow glad the steps divine. The world is peopled for me with worlds bare. Through all these years my couch thou didst prepare. Thou art supreme love, kiss me, I am thine. Autumn Sadness by Emma Lazarus. Air and sky are swathed in gold, fold on fold. Light glows through the trees like wine. Earth sun quickens once for bliss, 'neath his kiss, breathless in a trance divine. Nature pauses from her task just to bask in these lulled transfigured hours. The green leaf nor stays nor goes, but it grows royaler than mid-June's flowers. Such impassioned silence fills all the hills, burning with unflickered fire. Such a blood-red splendor stains the leaves' veins. Life seems one fulfilled desire. While earth, sea, and heaven shine, heart of mine, say what art waiting for? Shall the cup never reach the lip, but still slip till the lifelong thirst give over? Shall my soul no frosts may tame, catch new flame from the indiscantant air? In this nuptial joy apart, O my heart, whither shall we lonely fare? Seek some dusky twilight spot, quite forgot of the autumn tragic fire, where soft mist and shadows sleep, where outweep barren longing's vain desire. Compensation by Emma Lazarus. 'Tis is not alone with black and yawning void that makes my heart ache with his hungry pain, but the glad sense of life hath been destroyed. The lost delight may never come again. Yet myriad serious blessings with grave grace arise on every side to fill their place. For much abides in her so lonely life, the dear compensationship of her own kind, love the least looked for, quite after strife, whispers of promise upon every wind, a quickened insight in awakened eyes of a new meaning of the earth and skies. The nameless charm about all things half died, subtle as a rolled round the shadow's head, cast on the dewy crest at morning tide. Yet through the glory and the joy we fled, 'tis as much her own endurance to have waited and wrestled with God's angels unafraid. Confused Dreams by Emma Lazarus. How strange, dim are the worlds revealed to us, beginning where ends reality, lying twixt life and death and populous, with shouts from either sphere. No enter we where twisted paths, buried is the silver gate, where the wild carven doors of ivory spring noiselessly apart. Between them straight flies forth a cloud of nameless shadowy things, with harpies, imps, and monsters small and great, blurring the thick air with darkening wings. All humour of the blood and brain takes shape, and fright us with our own imaginations. A trouble waits upon us, no escape from this unnatural region can be rare. Fixed eyes stare on us, wide mouths grin and gape, familiar faces out of reach we see. Fain would we scream to shatter with a cry the tangled woof of hideous fantasy. When lo, the air grows clear, a soft fair sky shines overhead, sharp pain dissolves in peace, then with a silver archway quietly we float away. All troublous visions cease. By a strange sense of joy we are possessed, body and spirit soothed in perfect rest. Critic and Poet by Emma Lazarus. An epilogue. Poetry must be simple, sensuous or impassioned. This man is neither simple, sensuous nor impassioned, wherefore he is not a poet. No man had ever heard a nightingale, when once a keen-eyed naturalist was stirred to study and define what is a bird, to classify by root and book, nor failed to mark its structure and to note the scale whereon its song might possibly be heard. Thus far, no farther, so he spoke a word, when of a sudden hark the nightingale. Oh, deeper, higher than he could divine, with all unearthly, untaught strain, he saw the plain brown warbler unabashed. Not mine, he cried, the error of his fatal flaw, no bird is this, it soars beyond my line. Were it a bird, 'twould answer to my law. Evening by Emma Lazarus. Rest, beauty, stillness, not a wave of a cloud from grey-blue east sheered to the yellow west, nor film of mist the utmost slopes to shroud. The earth lies grace, but quiet airs caressed, and shepherdeth her shadows, but each stream, free to the sky, is by that glow possessed, and traileth with the splendours of a dream athwart the dusky land. Uplift thine eyes, unbroken by vapour or gleam, the vast clear reach of mild, then twilight skies. But look again, and lo, the evening star, against the pale tints black the slim elms rise. The earth exhales sweet odours night and far, and from the heavens fine influences fall. Familiar things stand not for what they are, what they suggest, foreshadow or recall the spirit is alert to apprehend, imparting somewhat of herself to all. Labour and thought and care are at an end. The soul is filled with gracious reveries, and with her mood soft sounds and colours blend, for simplest sounds ring forth like melodies, is this weird lightened air, the monotone of some far bell, the distant farmyard cries, a barking dog, the vine, persistent drone of crickets, and the lessing call of birds. The apparition of yon star alone breaks on the sense like music. Beyond word the peace that floods the soul, for night is here, and beauty still is guide and harbinger. Faith by Emma Lazarus. She feels outworried as though over her head a storm of mighty billows broke and passed, whose hand upheld her, who her footsteps lead to this green haven of sweet rest at last. What strength was hers, unreckoned and unknown, what love sustained when she was most alone. Unutterably pathetic her desire to reach with drooping arms outstretched in prayer. Something to cling to uplift her higher from this low world of coward fear and care, above disaster, but her will may be at one with God's acceptance his decree. For by no reasons she be justified, yet strangely brave in evil's very face, she deems this want must needs be satisfied. For here all slips from out her weak embrace, and in blind ecstasy of perfect faith, with her own dream her prayer she answered. Fancies by Emma Lazarus. The ceaseless whir of crickets fills the ear, from underneath each hedge and bush and tree, deep in the dew-drenched grasses everywhere. The simple sound dispels the fantasy of gloom and terror gathering round the mind. It seems a pleasant thing to breathe, to be, to hear the many-voiced, soft summer wind lisp through the dark thick leafage overhead, to see the rosy half-moon soar behind the black slim branches Alps. Sad thoughts have fled trouble and doubt, and now strange reveries and odd caprices fill us in their stead. From yonder broken disk redness dies, like gold fruit through the leaves the half-sphere gleams, when over the hoar tree-tops climbs the skies, blended ever more and more, until it beams whither than crystal. Like a scroll unfolded and shadowy as a landscape seen in dreams, reveals itself a sleeping, quiet world, painted in tender grace and white subdued. The speakless stream the flakes of light impearled, the wide, soft meadow and the massive wood. Naught is too wild for our credulity, is this weird hour. Our finest dreams hold good. Quaint elves and frolic flower spirits we see, and fairies weaving rings of gossamer, and angels floating through the filmy air. Grief by Emma Lazarus. There's a hungry longing in the soul, a craving sense of emptiness and pain. She may not satisfy nor yet control, for all the teeming world looks void and vain. No compensation in eternal spheres, she knows the loneliness of all the years. There is no comfort, looking forth nor back. The present gives the light to all her past. With cruel time restored what she doth lack, why was no shadow of his doom forecast? As she hath played with many a keen-edged thing, naught is too small and soft to turn and sting. And the unnatural glory of the hour exhaled over time and death and fate. No earthly task appears beyond her power, no possible endurance seemeth great. She knows her misery and her majesty, and recks not if she be to live or die. Hope by Emma Lazarus. Her languid pulses thrill with sudden hope, that will not be forgot nor cast aside, and life a statelier vista seem to ope, illimitable, lofty, long and wide. What doth she know? She is subdued and mild, quiet and docile, a serene child. If grief came in such unimagined wise, how may joy dawn? In what undreamed of hour may the light break with splendor of surprise, disclosing all the mercy and the power? A baseless hope, yet vivid, keen and bright, as the wild lightning in the starless night. She knows not whence it came, nor where it passed, but it revealed, in one brief flash of flame, a heaven so high, a world so rich and vast, that, full of meek contrition and mute shame, and patient silence hopefully withdrawn, she bows her head and bides the certain dawn. How long? By Emma Lazarus. How long, and yet how long, our leaders will we hail from overseas, masters and kings from feudal monarchies, and mock the ancient song with echoes weak of foreign melodies? The distant isle, mist-wreathed, mantled in unimaginable green, too long hath been our mistress and our queen. Our fathers have bequeathed to deeper love for her our hearts within. She made the whole world ring with the brave exploits of her children strong, and with the matchless music of her song, too late we cling to alien legends and their strains prolong. This fresh young world I see, with heroes, cities, legends of her own, with a new race of man, and overblown by winds from sea to sea, decked with the majesty of every zone. I see the glittering tops of snow-peaked mounts, the winning vales expanse, large prairies where free herds of horses prance, exhaustless wealth of crops, and vast, magnificent extravagance. These grand, exuberant plains, these stately rivers, each with many a mouth, the exquisite beauty of a soft-aired south, the boundless seas of grains, luxuriant forest, lush and splendid growth. The distant serene song of a green island in the eastern sea is not the lay of his new chivalry. It is not free and strong to chained on prairies neath his brilliant sky. The echo faints and fades, it suiteth not upon the western plain, out voice or spirit we should stir again, the wilderness and make the vales resound unto a yet unheard of strain. In the Night by Emma Lazarus. Let us go in. The air is dank and chill with dewy midnight, and the moon rides still over ghostly fields, pale streams, and spectral hill. This hour the dawn seems farthest from the sky, so very long the space that lies between that sacred show and this dark mystery. Of earth and heaven no glimmering is seen in the star-sprinkled east of coming day, nor westward of a splendor that hath been. Strange fears beset us, nameless terrors sway the brooding soul that hungers for her rest, outworn with changing moods, vain hopes delay. With conscience full overburdened and oppressed, the mystery and the shadow wax too deep. She longs to merge both sense and thought in sleep. Influence by Emma Lazarus. The fervent, pale-faced mother, ere she sleep, looks out upon the zigzag-lightened square, the beautiful bare trees, the blue night air, the revelation of a star-strewn deep, world above world and heaven over heaven. Between the tree tops and the skies her sight rests on a steadfast, ruddy shining light. High in the tower an earthly star of even. Hears in the faith and saints and angels' power. And meditation love, she breathes a prayer for yon tired watcher in the grey old tower. He, the shrewd skeptic poet unaware, feels uncomforted and stilled, and knows not whence falls with unwonted peace on heart and sense. Life and Art by Emma Lazarus. Not while the fever of the blood is strong, the heart throbs loud, the eyes are veiled, no less, with passion when with tears the muse shall bless the poet's soul to help and soothe with song. Not when she bites, his trembling lips express the aging gladness, the voluptuous pain. Life is his poem when flesh, sense and brain one full stringed lyre attuned to happiness. But when the dream is done, the pulses fail, the day's illusion with the day's sunset, he, lonely in the twilight, sees the pale, divine consoler, futured like regret, enter and clasp his hand and kiss his brow. When his lips ope to sing, as mine do now. Loneliness by Emma Lazarus. All stupor of surprise have passed away. She sees with clearer vision than before the world far off of light and laughter gay, herself alone and lonely evermore. Folk come and go and reach her in no wise, mere flitting phantoms to her heavy eyes. All outward things who had once seemed part of her fall from her like the leaves in autumn sheet. She feels as one embalmed in spice and myrrh, with a heart eaten out, a long time dead, unchanged without the future and the form within, devoured by the thin red worm. By her own prowess she must stand or fall. This grief is to be conquered day by day. Who could befriend her? Who could make the small or her strength great? She meets it as she may, a weary struggle and a constant pain. She dreams not way may ever choose no way. Long Island Sound by Emma Lazarus. I see it as it looked one afternoon in August, by a fresh, soft breeze overblown. The swiftness of a tide and the light thereon, a far off sail white as a crescent moon. The shining waters with pale currents strewn, the quiet fishing smacks the eastern cove, the semicircle of its dark green grove. The luminous grasses and the merry sun in the grave sky, the sparkle far and wide, laugh of unseen children, cheerful chirp of crickets, and low lisp of rippling tide. Light summer clouds fantastically asleep, changing unnoted while I gazed thereon. All these fair sounds and sights I made my own. Patience by Emma Lazarus. The passion of despair is quelled at last, the cruel sense of undeserved wrong, the wild self-pity, these are also past. She knows not what may come, but she is strong. She feels she hath not aught to lose nor gain. Her patience is the essence of all pain. As one who sits beside a lapsing stream, she sees the flow of changeless day by day, too sick and tired to think, too sad to dream, nor cares how soon the waters slip away, nor where they lead. At the wise God's decree she will depart or bide indifferently. There is deeper pathos in the mild and settled sorrow of her quiet eyes, than in the tumults of the anguish wild that made her curse all things beneath the skies. No question, no reproach, no complaint. Hers is the holy calm of some meek saint. Peace by Emma Lazarus. The calm outgoing of a long rich day, checkered with storm and sunshine, gloom and light, now passing in pure, cloudless skies away, withdrawing into silence of blank night. Thick shadows settle on the landscape bright, like the weird cloud of death that falls apace on the still features of a passive face. Soothing and gentle as a mother's kiss, the touch that stopped the beating of the heart, a look so blissful serene as which not all the joy of living could impart. With dauntless faith and courage wherefore, the master found her ready at his call. On such a golden evening forth there floats, between the grave earth and the glowing sky, in the clear air, unvexed with hazy motes, the mystic winged and flickering butterfly, a human soul that drifts at liberty. Ah, who can tell to what strange paradise, to what undreamed of fields and lofty skies? Regret by Emma Lazarus. Thin summer rain on grass and bush and hedge, reddening the road and deepening the green on wide, blurred lawn and in close tangled sedge. Veiling in grey the landscape stretched between these low-broad meadows and the pale hills seen but dimly on the far horizon's edge. And these transparent clouded, gentle skies, where through the moist beams of a soft June sun might any moment break, no sorrow lies, no note of grief in swollen brooks would run, no hint of woe in the subdued, calm tone of all the prospect unto dreamy eyes. only a tender, unnamed half-regret for the lost beauty of a gracious morn, a yearning aspiration, fainter yet, for brighter suns and joyous days unborn, nor while brief showers ruffle grass and corn, and all the earth lies shadowed, grave and wet. Space from the happy soul to pause again, from pure content of all unbroken bliss, to dream the future, void of grief and pain, and muse upon the past in reveries more sweet for knowledge that the present is not all complete with mist and clouds and rain. Restlessness by Emma Lazarus. Would I had awaked this morn when Florence smiles, a bloom with beauty, a right rose full blown, yet rich in sacred dust and storied stones, precious past all the wealth of Indian isles. From olive hoary Faisal to feet, on Brunelleschi's dome my hungry eye, and see against the lotus-coloured sky sprang the slim belfry graceful as a reed. To kneel upon the ground where Dante trod, to breathe the air of immortality from Angelo and Raphael, to be each sense new quickened by a demigod, to hear the liquid Tuscan speech at while from citizen and peasant, to behold the heaven of Leonardo washed with gold. Would I had awaked this morn where Florence smiled. Storm by Emma Lazarus. Serene was morning with clear windward air, but threatening soon the low blue mass of cloud rose in the west, with mutterings faint and rare at first, but waxing frequent and more loud. Thick sultry mist the distant hilltop shroud, the sunshine dies, afar of black skies of lead flash noiselessly thin threads of lightning red. Breathless the earth seems waiting some wild blow, dreaded but far too close to ward or shun. Scared birds aloft fly aimless, and below naught stirs in fields whence light and life are gone, save floating leaves with whispers strawn down upon the heavy air. 'Neath blue-black skies, livid and yellow the green landscape lies, and all the while the dreadful thunder breaks within the hollow circle of the hills, with gathering might that angry echoes wakes, and earth and heaven with unused clamour fills. Over heat still flame those strange electric thrills. A moment more, behold, yon boat struck home, and over ruined fields the storm hath come. Success by Emma Lazarus. Oft have I brooded on defeat and pain, the pathos of a stupid, fumbling throng. These I ignore today, and only long to pour my soul forth in one trumpet's strain, one clear, grief-shattering, triumphant song, for all the victories of man's high endeavour, palm-bearing, laurel-led deeds that live forever, the splendour clothing him whose will is strong. Hast woe beheld the deep, glad eyes of one who has persisted and achieved? Rejoice! One more diviner shines the all-seeing sun. Salute him with free heart and choral voice, midst flippant, feeble crowds of spectres one, the bold, significant, successful man. Surprise by Emma Lazarus. And the stunned soul can first lift tired eyes on a changed world of ruin, waste and wreck. Ah, what a pang of aging sharp surprise! Bring all sweet memories of a lost past back, with wild self-pitying grief of one betrayed, dubbed in a land of dreams where truth is dead. Are these the heavens which she deemed were kind? Is this a world which yesterday was fair? What painted images of folk half blind be these who pass her by as wage as air? What go they seeking? There's naught to find, let them come night and hurt my despair. A mocking lie is all she once believed, and where her heart throbbed is a cold dead stone. This is a doom we never preconceived, yet no, she cannot fancy it undone. Part of herself, part of her whole heart scheme, all else is but the shadow of a dream. The Choice by Emma Lazarus. I saw and dreamed the spirits unbegot, veiled, floating phantoms, lost in twilight space. For on the hour had struck, he paused. The place rang with an awful voice. Soul, choose thy lot. Two paths are offered, that in velvet flower sloops easily to every earthly prize. Follow the multitude and bind thine eyes. Thou and thy sons' sons shall have peace with power. This narrow track skirts the abysmal verge. Here shalt thou stumble, totter, weep and bleed. All men shall hate and hound thee and thy seed. Thy portion be the wound, the stripe, the scourge. But in thy hand I place my lamp for light. Thy blood shall be the witness of my law. Choose now for all the ages. When I saw the unveiled spirit, grown divinely bright, choose the grim path, he turned, I knew full well, the pale, great material forehead shadowy curled, the glowing eyes that had renounced the world, disgraced, despised, immortal Israel. The Guardian of a Red Disk by Emma Lazarus, spoken by a citizen of Malta, 1300. A curious title held in high rapture, one among many hours thickly strewn on my Lord Bishop's head, his Grace of Malta. Noble he bears from all, with tact, skill, zeal, fulfills each special office, wastes nor slight, nor slurs the least minutiae. Wherewithal wears such a stately aspect of command, broad-checked, broad-chested, reverent, sanctified, haloed with white about the tone-sure rim, with dropped lids of the piercing Spanish eyes, lynx-keen, I warrant to spy out Hersey. Tall, massive form, overtowering all in presence, or ere they kneel to kiss the large white hand. His looks sustain his deeds, the perfect prelate, whose void share shall be taken, but not filled. You know not who are foreign to the isle. Haply, what his red disk may be, he guards. 'Tis the bright brooch, big as a royal seal, branded banner the beard of every Jew. These vermin so invest the isle, so slide into all byways, highways that may lead direct or roundabout to wealth or power. Some plain, plump mark was needed to protect from the degrading contact Christian folk. The evil had grown monstrous. Certain Jews wore such a haughty air as the refined, with super subtle arts, strict monkish lives, and studious habit, a coarser brew tide one might have elbowed in the public mart, Iscariot, nor suspected one so peril. Christ's blood, it sets my flesh a creep to think. We may breathe freely now, not fearing taint. Praise be our good Lord Bishop. He keeps count of every Jew, and prints on cheek or chin the scarlet stamp of separateness of shame. No beard, blue, black, grizzled, or Judas-colored, may hide the damning little Wherefore flame. When one appears wherewith, the urchins know good sports at hand. They fling their stones at mud, sure of their game. But most where wisdom shows upon the unbelievers' selves, they learn their proper rank, crouch, cringe, and hide, labour their insolence of self-esteem. No more flaunt forth in rich attire, but in dull weeds, slovenly donned, what slink past unobserved. Bows their real necks and crook obsequently knees, chin sunk in hollow chest, eyes fixed on earth or blinking sideways, but to apprehend whether or not the hated spot be spied. I warrant my Lord Bishop has full hands, guardian the red disk, lest one rough escape.
The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to sea. Here at our sea-washed, sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name Mother of Exiles. From a beacon hand glows worldwide welcome, her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbour that twin cities frame. Keep ensigned lands your storied plume, cries she with silent lips. Give me your Tyre, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. The wretched refuse of your tempting shore, St. Weiss, the homeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
The World's Justice by Emma Lazarus. If a sudden tidings came that on some far foreign coast, buried ages long from fame, had been found renamed lost, of that whole race who dwelt by the golden Nile divine, spake the pharaoh's tongue knelt at the moon-crowded Isis' shrine, how at reverent Egypt's feet pilgrims from all lands would meet. If the sudden news were known that a night the desert place where once blossomed Babylon, sconix of a mighty race, still survived of giant build, huntsmen, warriors prized and sage, whose ancestral fame had filled, trumpet-tongued the early age, how at old Assyria's feet pilgrims from all lands would meet. Yet when Egypt's self was young and Assyria's bloom unworn, ere the mythic Homer sung, ere the gods of Greece were born, lived the nation of one God, prized of freedom, sons of Shem, never quailed by yoke or road, founders of Jerusalem. Is there any abides today, seeker of dead cities, say? Answer knows when they are scattered broadcast over the lands, knit in spirit nigh and far, with indissoluble bands, half a world adores their God. They the living law proclaim, and their guardian is the rod. Stripes and scourgings, death and shame, still on Israel's head forlorn, every nation heaps its scorn.
Victory by Emma Lazarus. How strange, in some brief interval of rest, backward to look on a fair stretching past, to see how much is conquered and repressed, how much is gained in victory at last. Her shadow is not lifted, but her faith, strong from life's miracles, now turns toward death. Fog much be dark, where once rare splendor shone, yet the new light has touched high peaks unguessed in a gold mist bath down, and one by one new outlooks loom from many a mountain crest. She breathes a loftier, pure atmosphere, and life's entangled paths grow straight and clear. Nor will death prove an all unwelcome guest. The struggle has been toilsome to this end. Sleep will be sweet, and after labor rest. and all will be ended with him to friend. Much must be reconciled, much justified, and yet she feels she will be satisfied.
Wherefore, by Emma Lazarus. Deep languor overcometh mind and frame, a listless drowsy utter weariness, a trance wherein no thoughts find speech or name, the overstrained spirit doth possess. She sinks with dropping wing, poor unfledged bird that fain had flown, in fluttering breathlessness. To what end those high hopes would widely stir the beatening heart with aspiration wane, while proffers prayers unanswered and unheard to blank deaf heavens that will not heed her pain? Where lead these lofty soaring tendencies that leap and fly and poise to fall again? It seemed to linger with the utmost skies. What mean these clinging loves that bind to earth and claim her with beseeching, wistful eyes? This little resting place, twixt death and birth, why is it fretted with a ceaseless flow of flood and ebb, with overgrowth and dearth, and vexed with dreams and clouded with strange woe? She is tired of thought, she yearns for peace, seeing all things one equal end must know. Wherefore this tangle of perplexities, the trouble of a joy, the very maze of now fears and hopes that may not cease? A chill falls on her from the sky I ways, black with the night tide, where is none to hear the ancient cry, the wherefore of our days. Work, by Emma Lazarus. Yet life is not a vision nor a prayer, but stubborn work. She may not shun her task after the first companion, none will spare her portion and her work achieved to ask. She pleads for respite, she will come along when, resting by the roadside, she is strong. Nay, for the hurrying throng of passers-by will crush her with their onward rolling stream. Much must be done before the brief light die. She may not loiter, wrapped in the vain dream. With unused trembling hands and faltering feet, she staggers forth, her lot assigned to meet. But when she fills her days with duties done, strange rigor comes, she is restored to health. New aims, new interests rise with each new sun, and life still holds for her unbounded wealth. All which seemed hard and toilsome, now proves small, and naught might daunt her. She hath strength for all. Youth and Death, by Emma Lazarus. What hast thou done to this dear friend of mine, thou cold, white, silent stranger? From my hand her clasped hand slips to meet the grasp of thine. Her eyes that flame with love, at thy command stares down blank on blank air. Her frozen heart forgets my presence. Teach me who thou art, a vague shadow sliding twixt my friend and me. I never saw thee till this sudden hour. What secret door gave entrance unto thee? What power is thine, our mastering love's own power? Youth, by Emma Lazarus. Sweet empty sky of June without a stain, faint grey-blue dew mist on far-off hills, warm yellow sunlight flooding mead and plain, that each dark copse and hollow overfills, the rippling laugh of unseen, rain-fed rills, with its delicate flowers, white and pink and gold, a murmur and a singing manifold. The grey, austere old earth renews her youth with dew-lines, sunshine, gossamer and haze. How still she lies and dreams and wails the truth, with all as fresh as in the early days. What simple things bereaves the soul to raise, to bounding joy and make young pulses beat, with nameless pleasure finding life so sweet. On such a golden morning forth there floats, between the soft earth and the softer sky, and warm air dust with glistening motes, the mystic winged and flittering butterfly, a human soul that hovers giddily among the gardens of earth's paradise, nor dreams of fair fields or loftier skies.